be able to make this regime change happen, we got to bring a bunch of people together. We need 75% mandate to be able to actually update our constitution, to be able to actually kick all these dinosaurs out of the government. So who do we need to do that? We need the disaffected left-wingers. If you're coming from the right, like I am, it kind of feels like, based on what you see, like, oh man, a lot of these lefties, they're very woke, they're very hyper-legalistic, they really just don't like us that much, they'll never work with us. And I'm here to tell you that that is not true. So we need the disaffected left-wingers, the left-wingers who realize that the Democrat Party is complete BS. We need anti-war activists, categorically, from all stripes and all flavors here. We need the environmental activists. And again, this is another group where if you come from the right, it feels like, man, we would never be able to convince those people. But later on, as we'll show you, we'll definitely be able to convince those people. We'll definitely have those people going and getting buck with the Democrats on our behalf. We need the justice reformers. Everybody who's been affected by this kangaroo criminal justice system, by this 99% conviction rate, by this January 6th gulags, everybody from every side of the aisle that realizes that there is no justice in our justice system, we need them. We need the libertarians, and of course, we need the populist right-wingers. Many of these disaffected tribes are not natural allies, but we can make all of them understand that nobody's ever getting anything they want from the current corrupt system. So we got to persuade these groups to put aside their differences and work together, which is what we're going to be doing here. Furthermore, we're going to attract some new niche audiences, and I call these the ideologically galvanized audiences. A lot of these groups here, as you can see on the screen, are groups that aren't necessarily really political. Many of them don't even vote. But each one of these contains tens of millions of people. These are some exotic tribes from the internet that are massive. I call them ideologically galvanized because all of them have a history of being smeared by the mainstream media. So they're really not going to be shamed into submission. As we're gaining momentum here, you're not going to be able to shame them out of it like you would with some other people. And those people are, number one, the UFO disclosure community. There's a huge community that they may have been right about some of this UFO stuff, right? That's definitely a thing. But they've been getting called crazy for our entire lives, right? So they don't care what the media says. They're like, we're not crazy. We're doing what we want to do either way. The crypto and Web3 crowd. It's not just Bitcoin, right? There's all these other cryptocurrencies. There's all these other technologies. People that have had the media for, 10 years straight saying that, oh, crypto is BS, this is fake internet money, and that nobody should buy it. Even when it's got a market cap of like $2 trillion. So none of those people, they don't care what the media says either. They're not going to be talked out of anything. They're in crypto because they don't care what the media says. The next one, the spiritual, new age, hippies. This group of people, they do a lot of things that a lot of people in the mainstream media call them crazy for. And this is a huge group of people, tens of millions strong. They're a lot of fun, and we're bringing them too. Naturopathic medicine, the people that aren't shills for big pharma. There's been a lot of these people over the years that have died under mysterious circumstances and have been vigorously smeared by the mainstream media. But they know this big pharma stuff is mostly poison, and we're not down with it. We don't care what you guys say. This next one, the sovereign and state nationals. So this is like a group of people, probably 15 million strong, that they know this history. They know the United States government is not actually a country, it's a corporation. And that's how it was set up. All these various groups for all these various communities, they've tried to engineer these paperwork processes using legal technicalities to try to remove themselves from the jurisdiction of that corporation. Right now, the government essentially can use all of us as collateral against their debt. They can estimate out what the average economic output of each one of us in a lifetime is, and they can use that to borrow against us. And so these people are trying to remove themselves from that process by doing these very complicated paperwork processes. I've done a lot of them. I've been getting good with some of these communities. To those communities, I would say, if you look around, the FBI, the judges, they really don't care. Even if you're 1,000% right about the technical details of these processes, they don't really care. And it would be nice if we could actually bring this about and have this actually be a thing. So like I said, another huge group of people, we want them on our team. Unlock the future, keys in your